Terrific Tuesday. How are we doing, everybody? Moving the chains. We're back at it. We got some interesting news going on. Bengals franchise tagging T. Higgins. What's going on with that? And then we got Davante Adams, a.k.a. DDA, Davante Dumbass Adams. He's getting cut from the Jets. The same moron who wanted to get out of the Raiders goes to the Jets, who I've made argument, the East Coast version of us, he's cut. It's just funny how things change. So, one to start with, the Bengals. T. Higgins getting franchise tagged again unless they get a deal done by July. I don't get it. Listen, Cincinnati, can you just be different as a franchise? Can you stop being cheap? Can you stop doing all that dumb shit? Come on, man. You let Jesse Bates out the door. You let Joe Mixon out the door because you couldn't afford him. And I get it. You paid Chopper all that money, and he is worth all the price of admission. I understand it. But it could have helped last year. Your run game sucked. I'm just saying, Now, you did cut Alex Kappa the other day, so that frees up about $17 million. I'm not a cap guru. I'm not in the movie Draft Day where Jennifer Garner's playing the role. But I kind of know, okay, $17 million, you cut him. It's a tough loss because Alex Kappa's been a really good player for you. But you got to see down the road. I understand it from that perspective. But the Bengals doing business, I don't understand this. Okay? Why didn't you get Jamar Chase done earlier? Blows my mind. He needs to get paid. Okay? He's the best receiver in football. 1A, 1B, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, you can go either way on that one. That, to me, is how I view it. You got to do it. Because I just don't understand what the Bengals are doing. It's a mismanagement of all your stuff. So if you're going to pay Jamar Chase and T. Higgins all that money, then you got to figure out with Trey Hendrickson, because he led the league in sacks last year with 17 and a half. I remember he played us, and he kicked our ass. Now, granted, our offensive line was a shit show, but he still dominated. And every game I turned on with the Bengals, he was a one-man wrecking crew. I mean, Deion Dawkins, who's one of the better tackles in football, some call him overrated, whatever, he went on Coward and talked about he's the pass rusher that gets scared. Because he's got no gloves on, he's a badass, got the eye black, all that. So to me, when I watch the Bengals, I just don't get it. This is just a weird organization to me. They're like anti-Philly. They don't take any swings. They just stick to where they are. And again, it's worked for them. They've been in the AFC Championship games. They went to Super Bowl. I got all that. But you got to strike the iron while it's hot. And you got to give T. Higgins his money. Because if not, you're going to let him walk out the door and let him go to somebody in the AFC or NFC. You don't know where he's going. And it probably is going to be in the AFC because I'm looking at teams that need receivers, Chargers, New England, teams like that need weapons. And you're not going to do anything about it. You're just going to franchise tag them. That's fine. And I think it makes sense. But you got to get this done. And I just, some franchises cannot get out of their own way. And the Lions had that problem for a long time. They got out of their own way and they figured it out. The Raiders, I love you. We're trying. I feel like we are in that direction of getting out of our own way, but I don't know. But right now, the Bengals, I can't figure them out. I don't understand it. I don't get it. So it does help that he's back in Cincinnati. He's on the franchise tag. You play that out. You get him a contract next year. This should have been done a while ago. I just don't understand it from that perspective. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens. We got a lot of, next week's a crazy period because that's free agency period. And I'm sure I'm going to give you guys all the updates on that. My phone's going to be blowing up, buzzing. But I will say the Bengals, they kept their guys. Now you got to get all the contracts figured out. And I think they will down the road. So I want to touch on this. It's funny how times have changed, people. So, October rolls around last year. Davante Adams, as I've called him, DDA, Davante Dumbass Adams, he was bitching. He was sending cryptic tweets. He wanted out of the Raiders. I blame him? No. But he signed up for this. And I'll go on record again. We won that trade. Because when he went to the Jets, they were 3-8. 3-8. And he had his homeboy. He had everybody around. Oh, yeah, Lazard's there. Cobb. It's like New York Packers, baby. Everybody's there. Crazy how 2 years has gone and all those pieces. Aaron Rodgers, bye. Davante Adams, cut. Randall Cobb, bye-bye. And Alan Lazard, about to be traded, as I heard today. I mean, God, if there's a guy that ever just fell off on a roller coaster or fell in the river and just went MIA, it's this guy. Because he was at the top of the mountain in Green Bay. He was King's glazing, baby. Top of the hill. And then he decided, whatever the money was, I'll go to the Raiders. Okay. Yeah, 2 winning seasons in 30 years. I know this as a fan. And you went home with your homeboy. Okay. Now you want it out. And then you go to the Jets, of all places. You don't go to, like, the Ravens or the Niners or maybe Dallas. Who knows? Because Dallas has been in the playoffs. Haven't done dick since then. Past that, but they've been in the playoffs. But you go to the Jets. So you start off hot as hell on the top, and then just, come on, man. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But Davante, hey, man, where people are going to go? I think he's lost puppy. You know, I don't know where he goes. I don't think it's good. I wouldn't pick him up. I know Raider fans are like, we got to bring him back. Nope, we already tried it. He was a cancer for us. I don't need that bullshit. You know, I don't think he's going to help us win. Did he help the Jets win? No. I mean, take out the one game against Houston. I was thinking about this while I was in the shower of what to say on here. That was it. Like, the one game he had. And then the Jacksonville game. But Jacksonville, who cares? The game was, you know, their seasons were over. Who gives a shit? Davante, again, where's his head? And then I also got to bring up Aaron Rodgers. Like, the Jets kind of fuzzled themselves in this because Aaron Rodgers has never been a guy that's a foxhole guy. That's just who he is. He's a talent. He's Kobe Bryant of the generation. He is. And I've kind of come to terms with that. So, I don't know. You know, to me, I just don't understand with the Bengals, what they're doing. That was my first take. And then the second point, and I'm finishing up this with the Jets thing, I don't understand it. I really don't with the Jets. I think, to me, I think the Jets land Shedeur Sanders. I'm going to make that hot take right here, right now. Because to me, if I'm looking at all 7 of these teams, I think the Jets, and this is crazy to say, have the better O-line. They have the better defense. They have a little bit more cap space. I mean, I'm looking at these teams, man. Like, the Jets are interesting. I could see Shedeur falling that to 7. Now, I could be wrong. I'm just throwing a hypothetical out. Because I'm starting to add it up in my head. Jets got players. And Shedeur Sanders, the one thing I love about him is he's gone through the mud. He's like Andy Dufresne in Shawshank. He went through that 500 piles of shit in that tunnel. So he's seen and knows what it takes with no run game, bad defense, all that shit, and it prepares him. And that I understand. And I look at the Jets, out of the 7, that's the best opportunity right there. So, we'll see what happens. I don't know if Shedeur ends up going there, but to me, I feel like that's the best place. Weaponry, O-line's getting better. You have a pretty solid defense. They're right there. So, that's all I want to touch on here tonight. Terrific Tuesday, everybody. Love my fans. Love all you guys for watching. Have a great night. Godspeed. Adios.